Hello and welcome to the David Frankal. What? Your intro sucks. Well, have you got any better ideas? Yeah? Really? And what would that be? To do a better intro. It'll be better, trust me. Maybe you should resign. Oh, fuck off. No, really, you should resign. Everybody hates your guts. And also, starting a YouTube video with hello and welcome to the David Frankal Show is really boring and unoriginal. Fine, you know what? I quit. Bye. Wait, really? Oh, shit. Oh, fuck it. Hello and welcome to the David Frankal Show. Oh, give it a rest, will you? It's not like you're known for keeping your promises. So it's been a weird month, despite the absolute insanity of Boris Johnson actually being the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. There's not been all that much that's actually happened since the last episode. So the Tory leadership contest that I thought was going to be a bloodbath actually turned out to be a non-stop express to Downing Street for Boris Johnson. With nobody really, apart from Rory Stewart, who is never going to win anyway because he's vaguely sane, actually bothering to really oppose him very much. Mostly since everybody who was running against him was actually just hoping to end up in his cabinet. Meanwhile, the Conservative plus DUP majority in Parliament has been reduced from 2 to 1 after the Conservatives lost a seat in the Brecon by-election, which was won by the Lib Dems this week. Although nothing's actually going to happen in Parliament until September, since Parliament is now on its summer recess. Because, you know, nothing really important is happening that might warrant not taking a 6-week break. Boris, meanwhile, has assembled a cabinet of all the talents. Yeah. Including Home Secretary Priti Patel, who is so bad even Theresa May had her sacked. As for Dominic Raab, I think appointing him Foreign Secretary was actually just a cruel joke. I mean, it's only a matter of time before he says something stupid like, let's not put a customs border in the Red Sea or so. What do you mean oh, you can't even make up satire these days, for fuck. Perhaps the one shining piece of good news out of all of this is that Chris Grayling is finally gone. He has been replaced as Transport Secretary by a man whose existence I've only just become aware of, Grant Shapps. As with most political appointments these days, he doesn't actually have any prior involvement in transport whatsoever, so I don't really have any reference to which I can kind of judge his transport policies, so we'll just have to wait and see what he's like. I'm being cautiously optimistic that he'll be vaguely competent, you know, that would be an improvement. But moving on from all that, as for me, what have I been up to? Well, I went to Budapest for 10 days. It was kind of my Interrail pilot trip. I went down from Manchester to Budapest by train, via London, Brussels, Cologne and Vienna. My Eurostar train to Brussels was delayed slightly, wiping out my already narrow connection at Brussels to an ICE, although had they held it for 2 bloody minutes I could have made it, so I ended up getting a later Thalys train instead. Thankfully though, I'd left loads of time at Cologne, so I still comfortably made my Nightjet sleeper train to Vienna, and then in the morning all I had to do was walk across the island platform to hop on the railjet to Budapest. Whilst in Budapest, I met up with a number of my friends who were interrailing and passing through the city and kind of acted as their tour guide. We went to Heroes Square, Széchenyi Baths, the Chain Bridge, Castle Hill, so Gellert Hill, Market Island, you know the usual tourist stuff, a lot of which I hadn't actually been to in a while, so it was nice to go back, show them around. Then I hung around in Budapest for an extra few days to spend time with my family, and then at the end of it I flew back to Manchester with one of my cousins, Gerger, who then spent 10 days with us in Manchester. Then the following weekend, Duncan and I went down to London for the Trainspotting Tour 4. We visited Euston, St Pancras, King's Cross, Finsbury Park, Stratford, Stratford International, Paddington, Ealing Broadway, London Bridge, Waterloo, Clapham Junction, Watford Junction and Milton Keynes Central. I think my favourite episode was Ealing Broadway, with lots of not quite Crossrail Class 345s, although we didn't actually get to ride any, and also 800s and 802s whizzing past, plus the London Underground. I did actually get to ride a not quite Crossrail Class 345 later that week, but I'll tell you about that in a second. Towards the end of the episode, an arriving Great Western Class 387 had a bit of an explosion with one of its pantographs just kind of blew and there was flying sparks everywhere. It was quite interesting. I think my least favourite episode was Clapham Junction, and this may sound surprising, but that's because I thought there were just too many trains. I mean, it is just so big and busy and stressful, and for somebody who's trying to narrate a train spotting episode and keep up with every arrival and departure, it's just impossible because there are just so many at once. So later that week I went back to London again, this time with my mum, Noam and Gerger. We went to visit that Van Gogh exhibition we didn't quite get to last time. We also visited Westminster, we went up the London Eye, we took a Thames Clipper boat, we stayed in Romford for the night because we found a cheap hotel there. Then we also did the National Portrait Gallery, went to Covent Garden, Noam and Gerger went to Madame Tussauds, and then we all went to watch the play That Goes Wrong, which, well, went wrong. Genuinely though, I think it was the funniest play I've ever seen. It is mostly kind of slapstick humour, so the humour's not particularly nuanced, but the timing and the execution of it is just so consistently brilliant that it keeps you laughing throughout the entire thing. It was just great. Our trip just so happened to coincide with Boris's first day on the job of Prime Minister. Whilst we were in Westminster, in fact, a convoy did come past us. We're not sure if it was actually him or not.
David Frankal just learned that Chris Grayling has been sacked.
Our second day, Thursday, also coincided with a massive fucking heat wave. It did reach, and I shit you not, 38 degrees Celsius in London. That kind of temperature is not enjoyable anywhere, let alone in London. And they say climate change is a Chinese hoax. And yes, we also did get to ride the not quite Crossrail Class 345s to get to Romford and back, so sorry about that, Duncan. So after failing to catch one of these last weekend, here we are now. It's called TfL Rail for now, but really, this is a Crossrail train, just the actual Crossrail line hasn't opened yet. And very useful on a day like this, it is delightfully air-conditioned. Hot on the heels of the hottest day in UK history came a week of sustained rainfall. Obviously, having come just after a heatwave, the effects of the rainfall were even worse because the heat kind of bakes the soil solid, thus reducing permeability, thus reducing infiltration rate and increasing surface runoff. You see, although I might have fucked my geography exam, I still remember most of the content. Anyway, the north of England has been particularly hard hit by flooding, including the recently opened Manchester Airport Relief Road. Along that road is the Brookside Miniature Railway, which got absolutely swamped, which is additionally annoying because Duncan and I were actually planning to visit it this Sunday. Never mind that. Whaley Bridge, meanwhile, had to be evacuated because the Toddington Dam almost collapsed. Well, I mean, part of it did collapse, but it almost burst, is what I'm saying. Meanwhile, I got back to Heald Green on Wednesday to find that Platform 2 had quite literally turned into a river. As you can see, Platform 2 at Heald Green is literally a river. Good luck trying to buy a ticket. So as the Frexodus approaches, I've been busy packing up my room, and obviously video editing has become second in my priorities. Although despite that, you may have noticed that parts 1 and 2 of Secrets of the Metrolink, pair of videos I started filming over 2 years ago, have finally been uploaded. Please do go watch them if you haven't already. I'm genuinely quite proud of them. I've also finished uploading Series 1 of Archive, where I basically go back and pick out old clips of railway journeys or railways or train spotting episodes and turn them into their own videos. Not that anybody seems to care, because nobody seems to watch them. I'm now currently working on clearing the home backlog, so Llandudno and Blackpool. Once those are done, I will start uploading videos from the Trainspotting Tour 4, and soon after that I will start uploading videos from Budapest, so those will kind of be side by side. So I'm off to Porto, Ghent and Amsterdam. In fact, my parents are already in Porto right now. I will soon be flying down to join them, and then we're all going to go all the way to Ghent in Belgium by train. We'll be taking the Sud Express and the TGV. I'm not going to be bringing my laptop with me because I just need a bit of a breather, but thankfully, because I've already edited quite a few videos, I will be scheduling them to upload while I'm gone, so there shouldn't be too much of a gap. Thank you for watching the David Frankal Show. This might be the very last episode with this background. So, the next episode of the David Frankal Show will be, and the next episode of Train News will be, fucked if I know. This week I'm feeling very generous. I'm not going to give you one, not two, but three different train spots of the week. We've got a Class 195 New Northern train at Wigan North Western on the day it entered service, a Class 397 Trans-Pennine Express Nova 2 train on test, also passing Wigan North Western, and a not quite Crossrail Class 345. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. That is an amazing spot. Service to London Paddington, 345029. This train will not be calling it Bond Street, Tottenham Road, Colt Road, Farringdon, Liverpool Street, Whitechapel all stations to Shenfield today.